الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. To seek knowledge is a sacred duty, and it is obligatory on every Muslim, male and female, as reported by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم ومسلمة. That seeking knowledge is a duty upon every Muslim, whether it's male or female. وواضع العلم عند غير أهله, and he who imparts knowledge to those who do not deserve it. كمقلد الخنازير الجوهر واللؤلؤ والذهب. It is like one who puts a necklace of jewels and pearls and gold around the neck of swines. They don't appreciate it, in other words. Our Nabi also said, لا تعلموا العلم لتباهوا به العلماء. Do not seek knowledge in order to show off in front of the scholars, or to argue with the foolish. وَلَا لِتُمَارُوا بِهِ السُّفَهَاء وَلَا تَخَيَّرُوا بِهِ الْمَجَالِسِ. And do not choose the best seat in a gathering due to it. In other words, because you've learned so much, now you want the best seat in front. Be humble. Knowledge is supposed to make us humble. Sit behind the pillar. The earth, if you are a person of humility, you will want the earth to swallow you. Don't put out your chest. That means you haven't learned anything. Wallahi, subhanallah, ya Allah. And we find that. And look what Nabi alayhi salam says further. فَمَنْ فَعَلَ ذَلِكَ فَالنَّارُ عَنَّارُ. For whoever does that, the fire awaits for him. May Allah protect us from that time, ya Allah. The first word that was revealed, as you all know, was Iqra. Read, learn, seek knowledge, educate yourselves, be educated. That was the first word that came. Iqra, Bismi Rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read in the name of thy Lord, who has created all that exists. Khalaq al-insan min alaq. And he has created man from a cloth. اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم. Read, and your Lord is the most generous, who has taught by the pen. And as you might or might not know, the first person or prophet that was able to write was Nabi Idris alayhi salatu wassalam. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. He has taught man that which he did not know. The following hadith shows how important and how rewarding knowledge is, as reported by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. وَمَنْ سَلَكَ طَرِيقًا يَلْتَمِسُ فِيهِ عِلْمًا سَهَّلَ اللَّهُ لَهُ بِطَرِيقًا إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ. Allahu Akbar. He who treads the path in search of knowledge, Allah makes the way to Jannah easy for him or her, for that matter. May we always be students of knowledge, so that we always tread the path of knowledge. Never mind how great the beard might be, we are still looking for knowledge. Allah will open up the doors of Jannah for us. Ameen, Ya Rabbi. What, are you hungry or something? You don't even say Ameen now. Ibn Abbas also said to a group, when he heard Nabi alayhi salam was saying, when you pass by the meadows of paradise, indulge freely in it. And they said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what are the meadows of paradise? And the Prophet alayhi salam answered, the circles of knowledge, of ilm, the khalaqa, where you find the khalaqa. We have seen that monarchy, colonialism, and the oppressive rule have brought about the spiritual degeneration of Muslims throughout the world. It is about time that the Muslim Ummah restructures its educational priorities along Islamic rights, fulfilling the existing needs as well. And attempts have been made. You don't deny that. By virtue of such an educational program, the future generations will become the torchbearers of Islamic values and play an effective role in the present world. May Allah make it so for our children, our grandchildren. Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ameen, Ya Allah. Many Muslims think that Islamic education means acquiring Islamic religious knowledge, the study of the Quran, Arabic, Hadith, Seerah, Sunnah, Fiqh, Islamic history and the other subjects. As a matter of fact, in the present world, broadly speaking, we have two types of Muslims. Those who have followed the Western type of education or secular education, and those who have acquired the Dini or Islamic education. In the 20th century, due to colonialism and the Western influence, Muslim parents concentrated on imparting only secular education to their children. And the weak or not so bright students were sent to the ulum or to the dini or religious madrasas and schools in their own countries or to one of the Middle East countries. And history testifies to that. The Muslims who immigrated to Western countries have become aware of their religious identity and wanted to impart both Islamic and secular education, what is now known as integrated education. There has to be a balance. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً. You need knowledge of the dunya and knowledge of the akhirah. That is what we are talking about, the balanced education. The foundations of Islamic education in South Africa was laid down by Imam Abdullah ibn Qadi Abdul Salam. He is more popularly known as Tuan Guru. Tuan Guru was exiled in Cape Town in 1780 and imprisoned on Robben Island. And upon his release in 1793, he settled in Dorp Street, Cape Town, where he established the first madrasa, school and masjid. And we still find the mosque there, subhanAllah. This combined masjid and madrasa model remains until today. And it is not uncommon to find new complexes being specifically built to accommodate this structure. We have to prepare the younger generation having leadership qualities and not to be the followers of alien ideologies, but to play the role of torchbearers by their excellence in knowledge, character, and positive action. Allah make them so young. The importance of learning can be understood from an event in the life of our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The first school in the history of Islam was established by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, and all its teachers were who? Non-Muslims. All the teachers were non-Muslims. Why? Because they were all prisoners of war. At the Battle of Badr, in which the Prophet ﷺ gained victory over his opponents, 70 people of the enemy rank were taken prisoner. And these prisoners of war were literate people, educated in the sense, write and read. So in order to benefit from their education, Nabi Muhammad ﷺ declared that if one prisoner teaches 10 Muslims how to read and write, this will serve as his ransom and he will be set free. Subhanallah. What amazing foresight and heart. Subhanallah. Nabi, it has been reported in another hadith Two men were mentioned before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of them a worshipper, an abid, and the other a scholar. And Nabi alayhi salam said, "Fadlul alim ala al-abid kafadli ala adnakum." And the Prophet alayhi salam said, the superiority of the scholar over the worshipper is like my superiority over the least of you. Subhanallah. Here our Nabi alayhi salam is encouraging us. Learn, learn. Nabi alayhi salam also said, "Inna Allah wa malaikatahu wa ahla samawati wal ard." Indeed, Allah and His angels, the inhabitants of the heavens and the earth, hatta an-namlata fi juhriha, even the ant in his hole, wa hatta al-hut la yusalluna ala muallim an-nas lil khair, even the fish will say salawat upon the one who teaches the people to do good. Subhanallah, look at that. Even the ants, the fish, the animals is making salawat upon the one who is teaching the people. So keep on teaching. And teaching starts at your home first. Start there first. Also we should know there is no goodness in knowledge which is not confirmed by actions or words which are not confirmed by deeds. Now you're talking about this hadith and that, do this and do that. In other words, the old saying in English, do as I say, do not do as I do. What munafiq is this? And that's hypocrisy. Both should be the same. And Allah grant us that, yeah. As Allah says in the Quran, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لِمَ تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. O you who believe, why do you say that which you do not do? كَبُرَ مَقْتًا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. Most hateful it is with Allah that you say that which you do not do. Allah protect us, Ya Allah. Today we need an education system which can produce what the late Sayyid Abu A'la al-Mawdudi said. He said, and I quote, "We need Muslim philosopher, Muslim scientist, Muslim economist, Muslim jurist, Muslim statesman, in brief, Muslim experts in all fields of knowledge who would reconstruct the social order in accordance with the tenets of Islam." How true, how beautifully said. It is actually very sad and paradoxical that Muslims who were once the torchbearers of the scientific knowledge that culminated in modern civilization are today wallowing in a state of backwardness and ignorance and domination. Despite our global numerical strength of over 1 billion people, only a few Muslim countries are currently making any significant strides in shaping contemporary civilization and the state of the world. In the contemporary world, Islam is often perceived as a regressive religion, backward religion. You've seen it in the newspapers. How if you wear hijab, you're backward. If you do this, you're backward. And then we have the enemy from without, even from in. This is bid'ah. This is bid'ah. I suppose eating biryani is also bid'ah. Right? Did the Prophet eat biryani? So doesn't that make bid'ah? So be very careful. Be very careful. Subhanallah. Go learn and see who you take your knowledge from. Be very careful who you take your knowledge. And here, please be careful, Mufti, Google. Very quick people are going to Mufti. But Sheikh, I saw it on Google. I said, did you sit at the feet of an alim so that he can give you a different dimension that you can open up and he can give you knowledge from heart to heart? It's so important. The richness of its past contributions to science remains unsurpassed. This is what whatever the West is bragging about now, everything Muslims gave it to them. Whether it's Ibn Sina, Avicenna, you name it, whether it's science and all, etc. However, verses from the Quran and the vast body of scholarship produced during the Middle Ages always spotlight the power of knowledge and education. While Europe was in the grip of darkness, Muslims, inspired by the elegance of their teachings, assumed the role of torchbearers for scholarship and science. Truly, they safeguarded the ancient knowledge, built upon it, and ultimately transmitted it to Europe. Understanding and appreciating the contributions of the early Muslims to Islamic civilization is crucial for contemporary Muslims. And we have to educate our children and tell them about our history. And it must be taught in our madaris, in our system. Muslim school children are often deprived of knowledge about their prominent past, perpetuating an inferiority complex, examining the mistakes of the past and drawing inspiration from exemplary figures can guide future endeavors, inshallah. Ameen. Parents play a vital role in the education of their children. Early childhood education program emphasizes the role of parents. It declares that learning begins in the first days of life and continues all the time. And the mother plays a very pivotal role, whereas the father plays a very supportive role. It's so important. Yes, Jannah lies at the feet of the mother, but the middle door to Jannah is your father. So they complement each other. Many years ago, in Uzbekistan, what a beautiful country we were. Fortunate to have visited so many, about 20 odd years ago, and then again I went in 2016. It was so beautiful to see the rich history. Bukhara, Tashkent, Samarkand. It's amazing. In Uzbekistan, a baby boy that was blind was born. His mother prayed and made dua for his son's sight. And after a few years, the boy regained his eyesight. Subhanallah. This is Allah's miracle. The news had reached his mother through a dream in which Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam had appeared and said, due to your bountiful and your sacred dua and prayers, Allah has returned the eyesight of your son. Subhanallah. And furthermore, she was widowed. And the boy was an orphan. And regardless, she traveled with him to Makkah. Now, he was not traveling that time, it was not easy. So that he could receive Islamic education from Uzbekistan to Makkah. Right? So she arranged for him to attend the circles of the scholars, the ulama. And he began excelling in the science of hadith. He traveled to distant villages in search of the most authentic sayings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today we have it at our fingertips. We just put on the internet and we can see this hadith, that hadith. But our former Imam, Shafi, Hanafi, Maliki, Hanbali, Jafi, all of them, Allah bless them, they had to do it the hard way. They had to go find the source and go from village to from person, is it true, is it true? Right? And his mother named this boy Muhammad ibn Ismail. And many of us know him today by the book which he compiled, which is secondary to the Quran. And that is Sahih al-Bukhari. Imam Bukhari I'm speaking about. Look at the history of that person. Okay? How hard the mother, subhanallah. In another land, in another time, it was chilly Baghdad. The wind would wake up another boy, and his mother would bundle him in warm clothing or shawls and escort him through the darkness before Fajr, making sure he would reach the masjid safely. After Fajr, she would wait for him as he read the hadith to the biggest scholars of the land. Then she would meet him outside, and together they would walk home. Subhanallah. She was a strong mother indeed, for her son grew up to become an Imam of the Muslim Ummah, an Imam by the name of Ahmad ibn Hanbal, as we know, the Hanbali madhab. This is how today we have knowledge at our fingertips. Now it's even online. People don't even want to see the Ustad, you rather see it online. And no problem with it, no problem. But the personal contact that you have, the eyes that your Ustad looks at you, not only into your eye, but looks into your heart. I want to share something with you. I learned something from my Ustad in 1965, around about there. I'm giving my age away. I was a youngster. And would you believe it? We never wrote it down. It was given to us from heart to heart. And when I asked various shuyukh to show me the kitab where it is found, they can't find it. And one sheikh said, and let me first recite it to you, what I learned that time. قال الله الملك الأكبر في أفضل مبعوث بشر فاحمد تحمد واشكر تشكر إنا أعطيناك الكوثر لولاك حقيقا ما كان شيء مما خلق الآن ولقد آتينا لقمانا بك حكمته فبها بشر بك ملك. And it carries on and on. Subhanallah. Look at them and the miracle of it. I went to school, forgot all about it and things like that. I can still recite it, I'm shocked. But you know what? That's why I'm saying sit at the feet of your ustad so that you can learn. When I asked various shuyukh to show me the kitab, they couldn't find it. One sheikh, Dr. Nanabi actually, I asked him, he tells me, your sheikh put that on his heart and your sheikh put it onto your heart. This is how ilm is also passed on. Even hadith Jibreel, as you know, hadith Jibreel is the longest hadith in Sahih Bukhari. بينما نحن جلوس عند رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ذات يوم, a man came to Rasulullah sitting, but that and أخبرني عن الإسلام, a very long hadith. But what I'm trying to emphasize is not me. I'm sorry I have to use me as an example. What I'm trying to emphasize is sit at the feet of your sheikh and learn. Because what you learn by sitting with each other, the barakah and the blessings that come through, nothing can change that. Subhanallah. Look how time goes. It is this time of the year. We wish all our students well. I will do ask for them. Our matriculants, our primary students, our secondary students, our tertiary students, all those that are at the madaris, those that are at Darul Ulooms. Oh Allah, grant them success, Ya Allah. Congratulations also to the parents and to the teachers, because we are what we are because of our parents and our teachers. Allah grant them those who have passed away, Allah grant them Jannah. And those who do not make it, try and try again. It's a test for you to do better, and it prepares you for the real test in life. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Failure will never overtake us if our determination to succeed is strong enough. Success is the result of perfection, hard work, and learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence. This is what we have to inculcate within ourselves and our children as well. May Allah grant him all the goodness. Thank you for listening to my heart. Please, gentlemen and ladies, people are still asking for zakat. We haven't got any more zakat in our funds to give. So those who've got zakat, please EFT or give cash, but write it is zakat that you are giving. You know, we're not sure if we're having a water leak or what. Please, those who knows what about. We got another bill of 7,500 rand for the water. And we've done all sorts of things. Those who are expert in this or go for a water leaking system or test or something like that, please contact me so we can do something about it. Also, one of my neighbors just who stays behind me, he was my student many years ago. And his wife, Naju, Ya Allah, he's a Parker. His wife, Naju, 52 years old. The cancer has gone to the brain. They have just given up. And it's a matter of time. I'm on standby, literally. We are just waiting. Allah grant shifa to all those. And ease to those that are in this particular state. Ya Alhamdulillah. It's Abdullah Parker's wife. Ya Alhamdulillah. Ya Allah, grant all of that are ill. You know how many janazas I went to this week past? Some even 2 a day. Allah grant them Jannah, Ya Allah. And Allah grant sabr to the family. Thank you.